Lace 'em up, let's start the show. We're digging in with Trip. 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 We're digging in with Trip today, yeah.
While it is April 30th, the Hurricanes' slate of April games is finito with the win last night over Detroit. Quick inventory over my shoulder is the NHL shovel. It is turned because there is one more night of action. We will announce the NHL shovel on Monday. The Hurricanes shovel. I'd be remiss before I award it if I did not mention with supreme admiration the contributions of the Hurricanes' Herculean captain, Jordan Staal, a.k.a. Staal Bunyan. Within the month, we celebrated 1,000 games of pure excellence for him, and then signature moment on a tremendous road trip, Tampa, Florida, Dallas, his game-winning goal, the battle with Yanni Gourde in Tampa, the first win of that outstanding trip. Ultimately, I arrived at the conclusion, how could you possibly deny the shovel going to a guy that has patiently waited for his chance, screams self-belief. With regards to Carpe Diem, he's run with it, he's dashed with it, he's sprinting with it. And that is none other, the NHL Rookie of the Month in March. He's just propelled forward to, among his great moments in April, consecutive wins over two former Vezina winners and Andrei Vasilevsky, Sergei Bobrovsky. The shovel will go to Alex Nedeljkovic. And we're going to award that shovel in just a second, thanks to the great people at Casual Elegance Designs, our presenting sponsor, creating in your home personal spaces that speak to you. The great Caniac, their president, Lori Moscato, she digs in. Casual Elegance Designs NC.com. Give them a hard, long look with your shovel, why don't you? So without further ado, let's see what the shovel means to none other than Ned. Ned, baby, you've earned it. The shovel of the month. Like the song goes, might be before your time, I remember it. How does it feel?
Yeah, that's a little before my time, but I mean, this thing's pretty cool. So it's an honor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Boy, that does look good, and your Whaler-clad toque looks good too. Let's first talk about your team. When it comes to digging in, what do you think epitomizes why your team across the board, individually, collectively, that you guys are all shovels in hand?
I think probably like one of the biggest things is I think most guys have been around now for at least one season, one full season or a few years. So we've kind of built that that bond, that like kind of family environment, that family culture. And I think with Roddy behind the bench for these 3 years now, he's really instilled that kind of dig in, that grind mentality that you got to come to work every day and it's got to be done the right way. You can't do it any other way. And when you got a guy like Jordan Staal, who's your captain, who's playing that way his entire career as well, you know, it's really tough to kind of go about it any other way. So just knowing that you got to come in, do the right things every night, or you're not going to be playing. It's kind of simple as that.
One of the more powerful moments, certainly this year and really any year, an interview we did after you were first star, one of your shutouts, you talked about self-belief. There's a coach you had, Tim Alexander, between the ages of 10 and 14. God rest his soul. Will you talk about his role, pivotal, in talking about self-belief with you?
Yeah, it's something that I still go back to and I think about all the time. I told you the phrase was, you know, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. And obviously there's a little bit more to that, right? You know, can't just think you're going to do something and then go out there and do it. You got to put in the work behind the scenes, and then you got to put in the work once you get out there and do everything. But for like 10, 11, 12-year-old kid growing up and learning the game, you couldn't have asked for a better coach. You know, he really wanted the best for you, and he was excited to come to the rink, and he was excited having us at the rink and going on long road trips and whatnot. As a 10-year-old, you don't see that too often. So he put in the hours for us, and, you know, practices were run. He tried to run it like a professional team, really. You know, we had a guy that would sharpen our skates, an equipment manager. We had a guy that like always had water for us on the bench. You know, he was doing everything for us to try to make us feel like pros just at the age of 10. So like I said, you couldn't ask for much more out of a guy.
I remember like it was yesterday, your first game in Vancouver. Huge win. The Canes, I think that was the first time in all my years that Carolina ever won there. And I was emotional with your mom and dad there in terms of self-belief, because you've had to earn it patiently and with that belief in yourself, waiting for your opportunity and then carpe diem. Was there ever any particular stretch where doubt ever crept in, or has it been there all along?
I think I'd be lying if I said there really ever wasn't maybe a little bit of doubt that creeping in. You know, you have good days and you have bad days. You know, that's with anything in life. You know, you're going to have your ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to end on a positive note, and you got to end on something positive that's worth kind of fighting for, right? So, you know, like I said, you might have tough days at the rink. There might be days where maybe you weren't seeing the puck as great, or for other guys, you know, you weren't as sharp as you want to be. You know, you have those days. It's not going to be perfect every time. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that you just put it behind you and you come back the next day and you just get right back into it. You just keep working. You know, it's like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but if you can come back and do it consistently and perform at a high level consistently, and you kind of take out those low points as best you can, you know, you're going to have a lot of success in whatever you're doing.
You know, we spoke earlier this year. You actually lost a game in Columbus, and you said, and I kept it close to the vest, you said, Trip, I can dominate. And last week, one of the reasons you've got the shovel, key road trip, you outplayed two Vezina winners in Vasilevsky and then Bobrovsky. Do you look at all to the other end of the rink and say, I'm in a battle with you, whoever that is? Or is that not part of your process? Because again, this plays into, and I love it, between the ears, you believe you can be the better goaltender, whoever that guy is.
Yeah, it does, but I try to not think of it that way, just because the only reason why is it's not really me versus that guy. It's me versus the 18 other skaters on the ice, really. And that's kind of how I try to look at it. And I can't really let myself look at it like, oh, he just made a big save, now I have to go and make a big save, right? Because now I'm just trying to force something to happen that might not happen at all. So if I'm starting to kind of focus on what he's done across from me, it's taking away what I need to worry about that's coming at me. So if I can try to do my best to just not even look at the other end as to who's in net, so it's going to only help me, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in net. It doesn't matter if he's won 10 Vezinas, if he's won a Stanley Cup, if he's never played a game in a minute in this league. You know, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't affect me at all.
You mentioned the number 19. I've got to go there before I go off the beaten path. You wore the number 19. Give me that history, because I've been talking about it on television this week. Yeah,
that was the number that I had growing up. Throughout youth hockey, I wore 19, and it just kind of stuck. When my last year at youth hockey, I went to Michigan and I played for Bell Tire, and Dylan Larkin was on the team, and he was wearing 19, and I didn't think there was, any real way I was going to be able to get that number from him. So I actually wore 91 for a season. And then when I started playing juniors, they went from 1 to 40. So I wasn't able to get 91. I really didn't want 91 anymore. The first rounder that they drafted that year, actually, he wanted the number 19. So he kind of got seniority there. And 39 was the next best thing that I could think of. So that's where the number kind of stuck from, and just kind of carried it along the way. And it took a few years to get back into it. And I didn't really think about it when I first turned pro, like probably not my place to be asking to switch numbers. I just kind of went with the flow and what I was given. And the year that Mac came and played here, he actually wanted 35, which was my number. And I remember Bobby texted me. He was like, "Hey, Mac wants this number." I had actually mentioned it to Bobby about making the switch. And he said, that's going to work out just fine. So it took a while, but we found a way back to it.
Yeah, you allude to the veteran equipment manager, the supreme veteran, Bob Gorman. Okay, we hope this afternoon, and you have our assurances this will stay in the dig-in vault. You hope that you're number one in your longtime girlfriend Emma's mind. Now, my real name Emmett, so I love the name Emma. You're going to propose. The great Caniac Beyonce, you're going to put a ring on it. Are you nervous? In the vault, how are you thinking about doing it? I mean, you only get one crack at this is digging in.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little nervous, right? Like you hope you know the answer to it. So it's been an exciting ride with her. It's been 6 years. We've been 6 years together now. We've gone through a lot of long distance for sure. And we got the dog now, and it's been exciting, and I'm looking forward to being able to spend the rest of my life with her. We're going to go to this little rose garden right down the road here in Raleigh, and hopefully she doesn't expect too much other than maybe just a few pictures and just kind of a change of scenery. And I think it'll be a good time and a good spot to ask.
Does your dog know?
He does not know. No. He does not know either. I haven't been able to tell him without her being around, so I haven't been able to really let him know. The only ones that know are the guys at the rink that it's happening, really. Them and my family, they're the only ones that know. So,
well, I have a sneaky feeling that it's going to go well with Emma. You're going to be shovel in hand. We wish you the best of luck, Ned, in your engagement. And we'll keep it close to the vest like Navy SEALs here at Dig In. Good luck with that, and good luck down the stretch. Congratulations. You've earned your shovel, my friend.
Thanks, Trip. I really appreciate it.
We're digging in with Trip today, yeah. Today, yeah. Today, yeah. Today.